meeting, so we would like for you to keep your remarks respectful and germane to council business. So at this time, we will start with Nicholas Casiopo.
Hey y'all, my name is Nick Casiopo. I live at 41 Marshall Avenue. Last week y'all heard from KMG Prestige and Redwood Housing about their supposed plans for the Erickson and Wilbeth. For time's sake, I just want to let you all know that most of what they had to say were lies, and a number of you all kind of just went along with it. A few of you even lied yourselves, acting as if you've been in communication with Tenants or the union. I highly doubt that Tenants would have said they were satisfied with KMG Redwood and the poor renovations they are doing if you had actually taken time to speak with them. You all should have received some links to videos of the meeting between Tenants, KMG, and Redwood that took place on December 14th. And then you see lots of tenants rightfully angry, and you see management staff who are unable to address concerns, but are willing to get into the faces of tenants and tell them they are lying. I'm not sure how KMG or Redwood could possibly say this meeting was a success or that they are on good terms with the tenants. A few days ago, we interviewed two tenants who were in the original Akron Beacon Journal article about the horrid conditions at Erickson and Wilbeth. Links to those videos were also sent to you. The tenants watched the committee meeting and flat out say KMG and Redwood are lying. They were moved into a newly renovated unit 2 months ago with sewage coming up through the floor and drains, through the walls, and nothing has been fixed yet, despite repeated calls to management. You've known about this for several months now, and yet you all have done nothing. Some of you have known about this for years and have done nothing. Like literally, aside from touring these properties, you have done nothing to change anything for these tenants. That's pathetic. During the tenant union's meeting with HUD last week, which again was another circus where people unaffected by these conditions continue to pass the buck around, Jeff Fusco had the gall to say that the city doesn't have the resources to inspect these properties. Jeff, who along with the rest of you gave a $145 million blank check to Dan Horrigan, really had the nerve to tell tenants the city doesn't have the resources to inspect their homes. You all voted to buy the APD a new $300,000 tank 2 weeks ago, but somehow there aren't any resources for safe housing. The renovations have not and are not fixing any of the problems. Think about that carefully. Redwood Housing is paying contractors to do superficial renovations that are not resolving problems with rats, roaches, mold, and sewer backup. The majority of tenants and units in these complexes continue to experience the same problems with maintenance, health, and safety, management, rising rents, and so on. You can't keep skirting accountability here. If it means all of you have to come out yourselves and inspect these apartments, then so be it. That will probably be the most useful thing many of you have done in your entire careers as public servants. But to continue to pass the buck and do nothing is pathetic and unacceptable. And don't forget that these two complexes are just the tip of the iceberg. They're the canary in the coal mine for Akron, and these problems are going to become evident in more and more of the city's rental properties. Peace.
Thank you. Kiana Winchester.
Hi, my name is Kiana Winchester. I live at 1125 Toby Terrace. I live in Ward 5. I have been living in Erickson Apartments. I live among the newly renovated apartments. And ever since I moved to my apartment, I have nothing but issues. I thought that it would be better because they got us in something looking better, something nicer, looking more up to date. But in reality, it's not. My kids are scared to get in the tub because they are scared of roaches. We haven't never been with roaches or none of that. Like my kids can't go outside because we don't know if it's going to be unsafe if they're going to shoot or not. We can't get in touch with management to let them know about anything. This has been really stressful and really messing with my mental on top of my kids. So I just want to see better for these apartments. They have potential, but with our management, I watched the meeting last week. They told a lot of stories about a lot of different things. We do not have 100% pest control. They told me that they would come every 2 months. Every 2 weeks. I'm sorry, I apologize. And I have not seen a pest control person since 2 weeks after I moved into my apartment was the other day. And maintenance management was not with them. They gave them keys to our apartments to come in and it was not with them. And they did not give us a 24-hour notice. So I understand that HUD give all this money for us to live where we live at. But I feel that HUD should come in and look and see where they're giving their money to. Management pick 5 different apartments that they want for HUD to see. Don't do that. They should go on all of them, or they should let HUD pick their own apartments. I understand that we live in low income housing, but I feel like we should be treated just like everybody else.
Thank you so much, Ms. Winchester, for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Edmika Minter?
A person did not sign into the meeting.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on to Dee McCall.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Dee McCall. I live at 200 East North Street in Ward 5, and I am a community organizer with the Freedom Block. I just would like to go over the housing ordinance of just a healthy environment, health, and housing code. It's chapter 150, and if we can identify chapter 150.08, which identifies the bathrooms, which is C, and D is the water lines, E, the heating facilities, D, screening, and H, rodent protection, and also 150.10 with general maintenance. If we all were to go over all of those ordinances that supposedly all of the buildings within the city are supposed to uphold, it would identify all of the ramifications that was said in the committee meeting on Monday. It is very disrespectful to speak on behalf of tenants who are living in deplorable spaces and is affecting their health. And to have the management and also the owners speak on behalf as though they have a good rapport with the tenants. The links that Nick spoke about, it identifies the tenant meeting that they had with all of the residents, KMG and Redwood, with the tenant members of Erickson and the Wilbith, and everyone was unhappy. The contact person, Connie, she was very disrespectful to all of the members and did not answer any of the issues that were at hand. She brought it to City Council, identifying that these were issues that she was handling. However, at that December 14th meeting, she identified that she was unaware of certain things, and people have been complaining for over 2 to 3 months. I identified the heating facilities. We do have a tenant on the line who didn't have heat for 2 months, and it is the winter time, and she also is a mother that has her child in her unit. So there are many different issues that I do want you all as City Council just to go over with the ordinances, because this is something that should be upheld, and I believe that this is the space that should hold these ordinances. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Dee. Ally Coker.
Hello, good evening. I am Ali Coker with the Freedom Block in Akron. I live in Ward 5, 774 Fuller Street. And I wanted to propose possibilities for community reinvestment. We looked at the revenue for marijuana as it is up to date, and it was around $600 million. So I would like to propose that we take the roughly $26 million in taxes from that, sales taxes, and reinvest it in the community for better schooling, better housing, better parks and recreation, and things like that.
Thank you so much. At this time, if we can have Ryan King and Lois Yost, please turn on your video, and we're going to have both of you be sworn in by a member of our law department. I think you guys came in just a little bit after we had did that. Do we have someone on from law?
Yes, I didn't see them turn their cameras on. I was just waiting a second.
Okay, perfect. Let me know.
Okay.
And for Ryan King and Lois Yost, if you're wishing to participate in public comment period, I'm going to ask that you please turn your cameras on so that you may be sworn in by a member of our law department.
It looks like we have Luis Yost has joined us. Mr. Keen, if you can hear us, can you turn on your video?
We're going to
Ryan is here. It's telling him that the host has disabled his
Okay, we might be trying to press the button at the same time. I'm trying to send you a prompt to ask you to start your video, so I won't do that. Will you try to turn that on again?
Okay. So this time we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on with Lois.
Okay, if you could please just take yourself off of mute. Okay, and please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Lois, you can proceed with your comments.
Okay, I would like to also address some of the things that was previously stated about I never knew who Redwood was until I watched your video on the 3rd. I have never had nothing mailed to me. Everything I get in the mail is stuck at my door. And if I don't get it to go to an appointment, it's my problem. And they will raise my rent, and I have that on document. But as far as repairs, when they first took over in February, my hot water tank went out. I had no hot water. And I called every single day, Monday through, sometimes twice a day. I had no hot water for 2.5 months. And it was the water, the section is like 5321.04 of the revised code. They have to provide me and my child, and I'm disabled, hot water. And we had none for 2.5 months. And so I started giving them code numbers, and I tried to put my rent in escrow, but I never knew who owned it. And I've never, to this day, I still do not have anything mailed from that. And then as far as the health and safety, well, with the mice and the pest control, they lied on the 3rd when they were speaking with you guys. They lied because the health and safety code, if you use chapter 3735.41 or 3735.43, and that is with HUD. I don't know which one we are anymore. They don't tell us what program we're on, but that's a violation for our health and safety codes. And since I am disabled, they refuse to give me any type of or acknowledge that I've been asking repeatedly for reasonable accommodations or modifications. Denying it. They're rude, very rude, over at the office for KMG, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to hear it. And they push me away. But underneath Title 2 and Title 3 of Section 504, that's a violation of my rights. Do like 3 different ones. Fair housing and all that. There is no maintenance done ever. On the 15th, I went in and signed the form, and if I did not show up for that appointment, which was stuck again to my door, which has no screen, I'm glad it didn't blow away. And they said if I was not there at 3 o'clock, they're going to raise my rent to $950. I'm sorry, and it wasn't their problem. She said, if I don't get it, it's not my problem. That's what she told me at the office, KMG. I don't even make that much money on. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Louise Yost. I live Ward 7. It's 985 North Deacons Boulevard. Sorry, forgot that. But underneath the Disability Act, the ADA, it was Section 504, Titles 2 and 3. And I'm sure there's other people besides just me that need, assistance. Nobody's asking us anything, and nobody has ever been to my unit. And where I'm at 985, I am by myself now. Like this whole unit, my whole row of units, I'm back here by myself now. And I have been discriminated against. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I done? but I have been discriminated against because I have complained, and I do have pictures and documentations on pre-septification. So I do believe that somebody should do something.
Yes,
funding.
Thank you so much. You've reached your 3 minutes, but we appreciate you coming forth and sharing those comments. So thank you so much for participating on this evening.
Okay, thank you.
I could give Ryan King another opportunity to pull up his video before we conclude with public comment period.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And it appears he might be having some technical difficulties. So what we will do is we will close our public comment